Let me be real with you guys for a quick second here. I think for the next few weeks, probably through the end of the year, so like the next month or so, it's going to be a pretty big barren wasteland of like tangible, actual news, like the stuff that I actually like to talk about, the substantive stuff. So we got a bunch of lawsuits that we're going to talk today, and maybe a little bit more, kind of dunking on idiots there by the end of the day. So if you like that side of things, by all means, feel free to stick around. I like to at least try to drag up something that I find interesting about all the subjects that I talk about. But I have a feeling, and I'm not really pulling for this, okay? I have a feeling that it's going to be kind of a barren wasteland of actual news. But what we have is it's pretty funny stuff, okay, to be completely honest. And like I said, yeah, I'm not hoping that there's any big fucking overarching stories that end up dropping over the next month or so. I think 2021 has proven to be quite a newsworthy year, and we don't really need anything towards the tail end of it. So what we have here today is the testimony that happened yesterday of one of the big trials that's going on right now. Tomorrow, we get the start of the Kim Potter trial. You remember the bitch. The taser pulls the trigger. Oh shit, I shot him. That one's going to be interesting, okay? Because they sat the jury, and they're going at such a breakneck pace. They needed the day off today, so opening statements are supposed to begin tomorrow morning, and perhaps I'll be checking in a couple of times on that one. But regardless, probably, at least for me, like the most interesting / hilarious trial that's going on right now is Jussie Smollett for lying to literally everybody. He, for whatever reason, decided to take the stand. Like, it had to have been his decision to fucking do this, because there's no way in hell his defense counsel would be like, you know what, you're on trial for lying. It would be a great idea for you to, you know what, get on the stand so the prosecution can go ahead and cross-examine you. That would be a great idea. And it's like, no way in fuck would that be their idea, because they have a certain level of ethical standard that they need to reach in order to be, you know what, in service, the best that they possibly can be for their client. This just couldn't have ended well. And based on the tactics that we checked in on, I think that was Thursday or Friday, something like that. It was towards the end of the week, and where one of the numerous defense counsel lawyers, she tried to get the trial thrown out because, my mistrial motion, it was denied by the judge, but he lunged at me, and that's racist. It's like, oh, okay, cool. So instead of, you know what, hey, trying to offer something intelligent, Smollett took the stand and scolding the prosecutor for saying the N-word. Yeah, some crusty old fucking prosecutor from Chicago who deals with N-words all the time in court. Yeah, that he said the word because he was reading a text message back. It's like, did you send it? And he's like, you shouldn't say that in respect to all of the African Americans that are there in the courtroom. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. So you get to speak for all of them, you fucking blatant liar. And then at the same time, you think that they're also fragile, that if you hear a recitation of a text message that is sent, they're all just gonna wilt under the pressure like a gay actor 2:00 in the morning on the streets of Chicago getting a fake beaten up. Like, come on, you got to think better about other people out there. But let's get into this. We've been rambling on long enough, I suppose. Snarky Jussie Smollett scolds white prosecutor for repeating the N-word while repeating out text messages he sent to Nigerian brother. Not his Nigerian brother, one of the Osendario brothers, obviously, because that's the only thing that we're finding out here so far. That's why I didn't do an update yesterday, because I seen that he was going to be taking the stand, and it's like, let's wait for some transcripts and let's wait for some shit to come out, because this is going to be fucking hilarious. And it provided exactly what we were looking for. All right, so Smollett has admitted changing the description of his white attackers from white to pale under cross-examination from special prosecutor at his trial, where he began increasingly defensive on Tuesday. Yeah, because it's like, hey, you're a liar. No, I'm not a liar. And then just keep poking, keep prodding. It's like, so you're a liar. It's like, shut up. I just changed my story. Who cares? Like, eventually, you know, if they get enough time with him, they'll eventually get him to fold. I still think, well, obviously he's fucking guilty. And it's like, okay, but is he going to be going to jail for any of this? Highly fucking unlikely. But yeah. So on Tuesday, his second day of testimony, snapping at the prosecutors for using the N-word while reading aloud his text and insisting he has a permanent injuries from the incident. I guess you paid him a little bit too much or not enough to pull the punches. I don't know. Smollett took the stand again on Tuesday morning in his trial for Chicago when he was accused of lying to police about being the victim of a hate crime on January 29th, 2019. During the questioning by Special Prosecutor Dan Webb, the 39-year-old became exasperated and snapped, "Oh my God, look at how good of a person I am." You're a fucking liar, dude. Nobody's going to take anything that you have to say right now with any sort of virtue points, except for the fucking weirdos that you're trying to placate on Twitter, which can't watch this because your team had the cameras and audio recording equipment removed from courtroom, so your virtue signaling attempts ain't really gonna fucking play to anybody because those people can't read. During questioning by Special Prosecutor, Dan Webb, he said he initially assumed his attackers were white. Well, again, you also told the police that they were white, and then when the police were like, "Oh yeah, it was a couple of brothers from Nigeria who beat you up," and it's like, "Oh no, they were pale." Like, wait, what? But he changed the story afterwards to say they were pale. Okay, and that it was the responsible thing to do. See, this guy is so woke when it comes to racism. He doesn't want to properly describe anybody by their traditional descriptors, all right? Nobody's black. They're a person of color. Nobody's white. They're merely pale. He's just such a good dude. It's just normal vocabulary just cannot properly contain the goodness that is in the heart of Jussie Smollett. He truly is one of Chicago's finest residents. I didn't want to make any assumptions that they were white, so I said, let me change that and just say that they were pale-skinned. What's the difference, okay? He said it was the responsible thing to do to change his description because he couldn't be sure, adding, they could have been a white person. They could have been a pale someone else. Can you be more specific? No? All right. When asked if he described them as white because he thought it would be more attention, he snapped, "You'd have to ask somebody who actually did a fake hate crime." That's what I'm doing right now. Anyways, Smollett also became defensive when asked why he sent an Instagram private message to Abel Osandario, the guy who's been alleged, at least by the defense, to going to a bathhouse, taking drugs with Smollett and jerking off in a bathhouse, is fucking weird, but it has nothing to do with the fact that Jussie Smollett lied to the fucking cops, the charges that he's actually facing right now. Fun story, and it'll make for big fucking belly laughs at dinner conversations, but honestly, you're on trial for lying to the cops. What does that have to do with anything? But that's been the strategy of this defense team so far. In the hours before the attack, with prosecutors suggesting that he was filming him on, the fact his flight from New York to Chicago was delayed, which would delay the plan. Knitter? Nobody. This is brutal. Still on this damn runway was one of them, and another was nearly finally made it. Oh, okay, cool. That must be those censored N-words. I'm not entirely sure what it is. In the messages, Smollett repeatedly used the N-word. Which one? But on Tuesday, he told Webb not to while reading the text. It's our word. Okay, well, that's what, like half your word. Reading the text out loud out of respect of every African-American person in the room. Yes, because they're all just as fucking weak-minded as you are, Jussie. Have a little faith in society. Webb, who is white, apologized to Smollett, quipped apology accepted, but it's been used a lot. Why the fuck would you apologize to this sack of shit? Fuck him. Smollett also claimed in the days before the stunt, when prosecutors claimed he and the brothers, the ones that are pictured there in the Trojan outfits, I don't know. It must be a thing. I don't know. Claimed that he and the brothers were rehearsing the attack. They were actually getting together to smoke marijuana. Oh my God. Smollett also wouldn't say for a fact that brother Abel and Ola Osandario were the same men on the surveillance cameras filmed near the area. That's right. You don't have to take his word for it. You can take the people, the police, the ones that you're fighting this case on behalf of. That's all right. Despite previously claiming it was them. So again, he changed his description of the people who committed the attack, even though he said it was them, changed them from being white to pale. And these guys are from fucking Nigeria. There's nothing pale about them. Okay, but to be fair, they're wearing loincloths and whatever, so we don't know for sure. Anyways, I just don't know. Well, if you would have said that, this trial would be totally unnecessary. They're liars. Oh my God, that's like the the kettle calling the pot the N-word. They're liars. So, they also said it had something to do with it, and that's not true, he said on Tuesday. Oh, okay, cool. Again, I could just beat that old drum, but you know what, hey, if you're on trial for lying, you're trying to make character assumptions, and nobody's going to fucking believe you. His attorneys in opening arguments have said it was the brothers who attacked him, and that they did it because they hate the person he is. All right, so he's contradicting his defense team. And what a fucking disaster this is. But wait, there's more. Okay, I want to go back to the exchange between Webb, the prosecutor, and Smollett, the most virtuous man to have ever lived. After he quipped, out of respect of everybody there, you do not use the N-word. Webb shot back, look at me, I'm older. I tell you right now, I don't understand Instagram. I'm asking you if the messages I'm about to show you are between Bola and you. Bola is a bell, I guess the pet name that the two were using if they hadn't alleged gay relationship. I don't know. I don't care. Prosecutors have suggested that Smollett gave Osundario a heads up about the actor's delayed flight at the time to get the alleged accomplice to put off the fake attack that they were planning for his return. Oh, that's why it happened at 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, okay, cool. So what? It was allegedly supposed to happen at around midnight, 11 o'clock. You know what? Maybe when it wasn't like 38 fucking below. But Smollett insisted the prosecution was not correctly portraying the conversation by not showing that the messages had been in response to a public Instagram story in which he lamented his long-delayed flight. Yeah, no, we seen the messages, or at least we just had them recited to us by Prosecutor Webb there. You were lamenting the fact that it was a long flight. It was like, okay, you were trying to corroborate with him? No? Oh, okay, cool. We'll just... if we think you're lying, we'll just go ahead and charge you with something, but that's all right. So, yeah, basically, they just caught him up in a bunch of lies, and he started to get testy when he was questioned about being a liar, something that an honest person obviously does. But again, that's for a judge of his peers, or rather a jury of his peers to decide, because we all know that the judge can't be taken seriously. He lunged at one of the black defense attorneys. Yeah, but what about Don Lemon here? Again, we talked about him yesterday, so he has his own sexual harassment, sexual assault. If he was out there grabbing dick at bars, he's going to have his own charges, or he's going to have his own situation to deal with. And then he's also in bed with, or I'm sorry, the loose use of terminology, he's at least tied up with. Again, forgive it. He's tied up with the Smollett case. Weird. CNN's Don Lemon allegedly sent Jussie Smollett texts informing him of police investigation. Wow, it looks like everybody at CNN was using their media sources in order to help people that are very close to them. Behind them in some situations. CNN anchor Don Lemon allegedly sent disgraced actor hey, come on, we don't need that editorializing here. He's just a liar. Jussie Smollett texts during the Chicago Police Department's investigation of his alleged hoax hate crime. The words are tough sometimes. Testifying at his own trial on Monday and into Tuesday, the former Empire star Jussie Smollett reportedly said under oath that he received a text message from Don Lemon informing him that Chicago police did not believe his account of what happened the night he claimed to have been the victim of a hate crime by two white or pale Trump supporters, depending on the time that the statement was given. According to the Daily Mail, Smollett remarked, Smollett's remark was presented and then struck from the record. Okay. So the jury heard it. That's all you need. He said things began to seem off when he received a text message from Lemon claiming that Chicago police had reached out to him to say if they didn't believe Smollett, noted the Mail. After news broke that Smollett allegedly hired two brothers from Nigeria to stage a hate crime, Don Lemon, who had initially supported the actor, said that they were acquaintances. Why do all of these people know each other? That's fucking weird. They even lied to a lot of people, including me, and that's not cool, Lemon said to his viewers, both of them. He squandered the goodwill of very high-profile people, and one day may be running this country. And those who may be running this country, like Kamala Harris, and her connections to this trial, or at least to the greater events that comprise the components of this trial, are very interesting in and of itself. And Corey, old fucking Spartacus, wonky-eyed Booker, and people like President Trump. Oh, Trump is just laughing, really, if he's even remotely paying attention to this, because he called this one from the fucking hop, because really, like, can you point to anything that's not fucking Charlottesville where you had anybody on the right in the recent history to actually do something? Because we got an entire summer of love where we can point at for the left committing atrocities. And then before that, we got previous Black Lives Matter in 2016. It's weird how that shit pops up every 4 years, even though I fully anticipate it to pop up once again around 2022 because they're fucking desperate. But yeah, no, we have numerous instances of Antifa, Black Lives Matter, that entire crew causing a bunch of ruckus. But, like, individual one-off hate crimes by Trump supporters? Very fucking unlikely. Everybody and their mother called this, so I can't give anybody kind of big ups for calling this out when it happened, but I hope he gets held accountable. Not optimistic about it, but on the next story, we got a follow-up on somebody who should literally have the book thrown at him, but he's trying to win in the court of public opinion. It's just going to be a fucking long shot if you ask me. But with that said, guys, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.